What's going on, legends? It's your boy Errl Shatter here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the buff that came to the Holger-26 with our most recent update, which included some weapon balancing. Now obviously the Holger wasn't the only weapon affected, as there was changes to the FAL, the Bruin, and also the M91, but we're not going to be talking about those today. But before we jump into the rest of the video, if you guys do enjoy this content at any time, or this video helps you out in any way, make sure you guys show your support for the channel by going down below and smashing that like button. Also, if you guys are interested in finding a way back to the channel for more Modern Warfare or Warzone content, make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button, followed by that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. So like I said, there was a buff to the Holger-26. Now, this is kind of a underused weapon. Not a lot of people out there are going to be using it. I pretty much haven't seen most people using it, except for the, exception for those people that have picked it up in Warzone. Overall, the weapon is kind of underwhelming. It isn't insanely overpowered or anything like that. It's fairly balanced, but there's some things that, are left to be desired for this gun. I'm going to also include today the class setup or loadout that I was running in this video. Gameplay in the background is nothing special. It was just a solo match that I had, where I was able to get the Holger and use it just a little bit just to try to test out the changes. So let's go ahead and first talk about what changed with the buff to this weapon. They increased the damage range, alongside they also increased the ADS speed. So the ADS speed overall with LMGs is typically slower. With this weapon, it's definitely very useful to have it be, fairly quick, as it's not the most dominating weapon. Especially at long range, there's a lot to be desired for this gun. Both the barrels that you can use on this weapon actually affect the bullet velocity quite a bit. Just by taking off a barrel, you go from like a bullet velocity of 442 meters per second to like 800 something. So it's an extreme difference between running a barrel on this and not. So I highly suggest you guys out there don't run a barrel on this weapon. Now, as far as ADS speed is concerned, I did notice a slight change in that. I kind of run my class setup to focus a little bit on ADS speed, but most importantly, just make this weapon as usable as possible. So let's go ahead and jump over to the class setup or loadout, just to get that out of the way and kind of cover what I was running. So for our muzzle, we had that monolithic suppressor. This is obviously going to extend range just a little bit for you, but overall, it's going to make you a little bit less, obvious as far as where you're at on the map. Very useful for running in Warzone. Then followed by that, we have the GI Mini Reflex. You guys are welcome to use whatever sight you are most comfortable with, but I suggest throwing a sight on this weapon. Again, you do not want to run a barrel. It does not benefit this weapon whatsoever. And for our stock, we're running the no stock. We're trying to obviously increase this weapon movement speed by a little bit. Do what we can to just kind of help this weapon out. For our rear grip, we have the stippled or stippled grip tape. And last but not least, for our underbarrel, we have that Merc foregrip. Now, I highly suggest that if you are running a Ranger or something like that, switch to the Merc foregrip. It does provide more benefits. And honestly, it increases movement speed by a little bit. Again, we are running a light machine gun. A little bit of an increase does make a difference. And I kind of feel like, if you're going to actually run this weapon or give this weapon a shot, it's absolutely something you want to focus on. Now, the important thing to talk about for this gun, besides the fact that it is not very good at range, is the fact that you can actually convert it to the G36C, which I'm sure some of us are already familiar with, especially if you played Call of Duty 4 back when that was, a very relevant game. So the big thing about it is you're not going to want to convert this to an AR in any way. I don't feel like it really provides much benefit. Plus, having a 30-round magazine in Warzone is just absolutely just not reasonable at all. Unless you're running solos and you're really confident in your ability to be able to dodge and reload, I highly recommend keeping the magazine at that 100-round mag. Obviously, you're going to be at the downfall of being a little bit slower, but I think that's absolutely worth it, considering the fact that that 30-round mag is just not going to do much for you. Now, I kind of believe this loadout or class setup to be the best way to optimize this weapon. I highly suggest you guys go out there and give it a shot, just to try something different, see if you guys have any fun with it. Now, although this buff definitely helped a little bit, I kind of think there's still more to be desired for this gun, and it's not the first time we've seen something addressed for this weapon. This weapon is from Season 1, if you guys are unfamiliar. That was quite a while back, so, they're kind of making progress. But again, I think there's just more to be desired. Maybe add a barrel to this weapon so that it optimizes a little bit more for range. I think that would kind of make things a little bit better for this gun, and maybe balance it out just a little bit. It's just a kind of a suggestion, they do like to add attachments, and it kind of adds something for people to go for. I think it would be kind of cool to see them add a barrel for this gun. Let me know down in the comment section below if you guys think it would be a good idea for them to add a barrel that does help you with those long range engagements a little bit more. I mean, you got to think, you're running a light machine gun, you're going to be a little bit slower with it anyways. The idea that you have to kind of push it towards more of an AR feel kind of just takes away the whole reason to run it as an LMG. Plus, it's kind of hard to want to run a weapon when you feel like you need something for close quarters and long distance, because this thing kind of falls in between. Obviously, it's an LMG. It's not going to be good for really close quarters engagements. It's going to be good at short to medium range, but at long range, it's going to struggle a little bit, and I think that's kind of where there's something still left to be desired for this weapon. So that's going to wrap things up for today's video. I'm happy to see that they have made some progress with the Holger. I enjoy kind of running this weapon. I think it's kind of fun, and overall, the recoil is pretty low, and you can be pretty accurate with it. But like I said, that's going to wrap things up for today's video. If you guys did enjoy this content at any time, or, again, find this helpful in any way, make sure you guys show your support for the channel by going down below and smashing that like button. Try to smash that goal of 20 likes. Also, make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button alongside that notification bell so we can see it in the next video. Appreciate you guys for all the support in today's video, all the support on the channel. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Relocating the safe zone. Finish your mission. Take them down. Better.
No way, bro. Your stupid ass head glitch. Oh, that's so dumb. This dude's head glitching the fucking rock.